Hey, we back. Cooking with the Woodards. See this? Cooking with the Woodards. My niece did these aprons for us, me and my brother, and things. And today, hey, he's going to tell you what he's been cooking.
Well, today I'm cooking Sunday dinner with the Woodards. I'm going to prepare 3 different meals, 3 different things today. But I'm going to cook oxtails, and I'm going to cook candy yams, and I'm going to cook mustard greens with cabbage. And I'm going to show you how that process, each one of these processes go. The ingredients for the yams, I'm going to have vanilla extract, cinnamon, butter. The sugar I'll get out later in the butter. And because that's the last thing I'm going to cook. It don't take long. And this the ingredients for the oxtails. Olive oil, because I'm going to brown them. Parsley flakes, adobo, ginger, oregano, and these are the cubes, the bouillon. This ain't bouillon, this is the powder. I'm gonna put that in the oxtails. Thyme, garlic powder, and some smoke liquid. Onion powder, and we'll need this for two items. I'm gonna put this in the oxtails to clean them, and I'm gonna put this in the greens to clean them. And then I'm gonna come over here to my greens where I'm gonna use salt for both, all-purpose season for both, and black pepper and minced garlic. Gonna go in the oxtails and the greens. Them 2 of my favorite items in the kitchen, and some adobo cubes because I don't have any chicken broth, so I'm using cubes today, and a little red pepper. And I'm gonna get started here. Italian season. Let's give it a little flavor, the greens. And when you go home, you're gonna be the best cook, cause man, you're getting all my recipes. You know, I've been hiding these from you for years. Okay, let me get ready to do the oxtails first. And what I'm gonna do is put it right here. And of course, I have my vegetables that I have to get cut up, because all the vegetables going into the part of my season.
So we have bell peppers.
Yeah.
We have a yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and we have yellow onion. Okay, these onions right here are kind of sweet. The white ones are not sweet, but these yellow ones are sweet, and if you're cooking something and you want it to have a little bit more sweetness to it, you can go with the yellow ones.
And these are my oxtails. You know, as y'all notice, if you cook oxtails, the price of oxtails has jumped up there. But I was over at HEB, and they brought out a fresh batch, and I had them cut them up. He had the whole tail. I had to cut them up for me. What I'm gonna do here is just cut them up and let them.
Do you leave this in there? You take it out.
Take it out. And let this sit here.
You want these dice or cut long?
Huh?
You want these dice or cut long?
Well, half of it. You cut it wrong, cause I'm gonna need half. I'm gonna put some in the blender.
Okay, some going in the blender.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get them cleaned up.
Put a little apple cider vinegar in there.
Let me get them cleaned up
For
for
the
you and stuff.
Oxtails.
Look at some big old oxtail. Lord Jesus. Ooh, and them came from HEB?
Yeah, he brought all the fresh things.
Oh, them are some nice oxtails.
See how all that stuff floating at the top. I'm gonna let that sit there and soak for a few minutes, and I'm gonna be cleaning them. Get the greens in here. little apple cider vinegar. Them greens be dirty. So you have to do the same thing to your greens.
How much of salt you think that is?
Well, that's probably a pan. You can rinse. You gonna have to rinse them anyway. But I was just putting enough in there to clean. These are these are collard greens. I got them in a bag already chopped up. So it'll save me some time.
Whenever you're doing your bell peppers or anything like that, make sure you cut the thing off, cut the head of it off, clean it out in the inside to take out the seeds. You don't want to cook your food with the seeds in the inside of it. This is the way you do when you're going to do it this way.
Like, you know,
rub them like that?
Yeah. You know, once you get them soaked in there, you want to mix them, you know, mix them up. Because you never know. So you just...
You don't scrub them real hard, huh? Just rub them together.
Yeah, you want to wash them.
Yeah, you want to wash them.
Make sure they're clean. And see, this is the convenience of it. Now, you might find one or two big stalks, but most time they already got them cut up.
The stalks like this here, you take them out. If you see this, take it out.
You want some, but you don't want all.
You don't want all of them, you just want some
Especially
of
big
them.
ones, they come up cut up. So you'll let that soak.
For about an hour. On this one here was a lot of fat, so I'm just trimming the fat off this one. All the rest of them wasn't like that, but this one had a lot of fat, so I'm trimming all that off. I want to already accumulate a lot of grease, but that just was a lot of fat.
Accumulates a lot of grease when they have a lot of fat on it.
So I was cutting a little, trimming it. Jesus. They clean and fresh. Now for the rinse this.
This my oxtails off. Soak them down with vinegar. Guess it don't work like that, huh? Yeah, like that.
I had to have half an onion. I got green bell pepper, red bell pepper, and I'm gonna put it in the blender here, make a paste. And add a little liquid smoke. Give a little color to it. And this here, minced garlic.
minced garlic is gonna go. I'm gonna use both of these, two different. Use them with greens too. But this gives it. I use a big tablespoon because I want a lot in this. I don't want to be under. So I'm putting 2 big tablespoons in here of the minced garlic.
You put vinegar in there too?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Now, and some garlic powder. Some parsley flakes.
Show you later.
Some oregano. I'm not measuring nothing, but you can vote. You can use a tablespoon. And some ginger. Now this you don't want to use a lot. Maybe a tablespoon. But because your ginger overpowers food. We got a few oxtails. And we'll add a little water to this. Add a little water so I can blend good.
How much is that? A half a cup or a cup?
Just enough where you can let it blend. This here, I'm just going to pull my oxtails. That's all my vegetables. Pull them over my oxtails. And I'm going to add a little thyme.
Show them time.
A little thyme. And adobo. You want to use a little table, not more than a tablespoon, because adobo is gonna.
They look like 2 tablespoons.
That's a lot, but you want to use. I prefer a lot on mine. And what else I needed? Put the ginger, black pepper. An all-purpose season. Most people know how much they like in these seasons. I'll mix that up over there. Add some more vegetables there.
They diced. What I did, I diced these up. This the yellow and the red, the yellow and the red bell peppers. He asked me to dice them up. And I diced them up for him.
Now I'm finna brown my oxtails using olive oil. I just want to brown them. And that's the vegetable juice on the vegetables. I'm letting that heat up. so I can add that to it. These are my ham hocks, pre already warm, tender. So I'm gonna debone them when I get ready to put the greens on next. And that's another process, but you'll see me do that. All right, I'm gonna put my oxtails in there. I'm not cooking, I'm just browning them. Give them some color. Okay, guys. Had everything on high, got to cut it down to low. I want it to be just getting warmed up. I don't want the vegetables to stick. So I'm browning the oxtails. Let me cook on each side a little while. Some people got brown them there, place them in the pot. This ain't nothing but cooking with love here. Cooking with love. Like I'm putting my vegetables, some more vegetables on that was left over when I did it.
So what you have? Red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, and onion.
Oh, yeah, but I had them blended up.
Oh.
I add some beef broth to it. Beef broth to my oxtails. Cooking beef, use beef. And some tomato flavored bouillon. Give me a spoon.
I put them on.
Or you can add tomato paste. But I'm adding this. And at the end I'm adding a can of tomatoes.
What kind is that? Adolfo?
Adolfo, but it's tomato paste kind. Powder. Stir it up a little bit. Get my vegetables all mixed up. I don't want them to stick on the bottom. That's a big meat in there. Let that cook for 4 hours. Once it starts to boil, I'm gonna cut it down to medium and let it cook for 4 hours. Right now I'm ready to rinse these greens out. Want to rinse them good because I add salt and vinegar, so you don't want that too much salt. See how good the color changed on them? They clean. And now that's why you know your greens clean. I hate dirty greens. Some people just take them out the pack and start cooking, or just soak them in water. And the thing about greens is you want them to have a flavor. So what I'm finna show you now is how to cook good greens. If you don't have flavor to your greens, And the way you get flavor is you gotta season the water. You don't want just plain old plain greens. Yes, if you've been cooking greens and you've been cooking greens just in plain water, you ain't been having some good greens.
So how many times was that?
That's about 3 or 4 times I've done it.
3 or 4 times rinse? Mm-hmm. And the first time you rinsed it in vinegar and salt?
No, I let it soak in vinegar and salt.
Oh, you let it soak in vinegar and salt?
And that was for an hour.
For an hour?
Just let it, and rinse it out. Now,
I'm rinsing it for the last time. And I scrub them.
for the greens, I'm gonna put a little olive oil in the pan. Everybody, just enough to cover the pan at the bottom. I'm gonna cut up some bacon. A few strips. I'll place them in oil. I'm gonna saute that. I'm gonna add me some red pepper and onions. And like I say, minced garlic, man, that's a must. You want that good flavor in your food. I'm gonna use 2 big tablespoons of that. Let that simmer about. Cut it down a little bit. About 2 hours. Got about 10 minutes for this. Now I'm gonna debone these ham hocks. I pre-cook these so they can be tender and ready.
How long it take?
But about 2 hours to get them real tender. You want to put the bone in this when you put it in there, because bone has flavor. You know, some big pieces I'm gonna leave whole, some I'm gonna cut up. Fat too. Some people like the fat, but the fat ain't good for you. But you know us Southern folks, we love some fat. That's when you cook. And all this does is give it flavor. Gives the greens flavor. You will need this smoked meat in your food. Plus I'm adding some cabbage to it, so the more I have, the better. Take that bone out, put it in there.
You can use smoked turkey meat too. You know, a lot of people don't like ham hocks. But you can use smoked turkey meat. Sometimes I use turkey legs and turkey butts.
And you have to let it boil.
Get tender.
You have to let it boil till it gets tender.
Yeah, that way you can separate the meat. Because greens, it takes a little while, but the way I'm cooking them today, it'll take about 45 minutes at the most. I like a little meat with mine, so I'm gonna pick them up. Greens. Add a little bit at a time. Cause they got to wilter. I mean, they got to shrink. You put a little bit in at a time. You can get them all in there. Okay. Going down. Now I'm adding the season. It's all-purpose season. Might want to use this about it. I'm not measuring, but most people, they say it's about a tablespoon. But since I'm adding cabbage to it, put a little extra Italian season, give it another little flavor. Bring everything to a boil. Garlic powder. Black pepper. About a cap full of apple cider vinegar. Crushed red pepper, crushed pepper. Not too much, you don't want it too hot. Steam keeping it coming down. And bouillon cubes. I don't have no chicken broth today, so I'm gonna add about 6 of these in place of the chicken broth. Also, you didn't see though, but I had when I bought my ham hocks in, the broth from that, I used that too. So you can use that broth, because you want your water to be flavored. And that's gonna get a greens flavor. You don't want no plain greens. You want to be able to have some flavor. And then you put the love in there with it, so just and then mix it up. Your vegetables and your meat. And look at that. And I'm gonna show you this here in about an hour. And you're gonna see how it looks.
Okay, when you're cutting cabbage, you cut your cabbage like this. When you see this part right here, do not use this part right here. You cut away from that in an angle. Just like this here, in an angle. Because what you want, you don't want this in your cabbage. All you want is the leafy part of it. And that's it. Leo.
And the reason what I'm going to do with this cabbage, at the end, when my greens is done, because it'll take cabbage long to cook, I'm going to add the cabbage to the greens.
And man, you talking about mix that two together. Woo, that's a good taste. I'm gonna show you how I cook them. I already had them sliced too, but they hard to peel. And I didn't want to be standing there a long time doing it. So I got some of this recipe here I got from my uncle and some from my mama. I use 2 sticks of butter. Cut that on high, a little high. And this is the easiest way I know how to cook yams. I'm gonna use a cup of sugar. And if you're diabetic, you can use Splenda. But if you ain't, pure sugar. And add some vanilla extract. All this is just giving it some love. As you know, I never use a teaspoon. I just like mine a certain way.
That look like 2 tablespoons.
But that's
2 or 3 tablespoons right there. 3 tablespoons.
And add a little cinnamon, ground cinnamon on mine. I ain't stingy about nothing. I guess that's why I gain weight. I don't be stingy. I'm gonna put this on here, and it's gonna make its own juice, and I'm gonna show y'all that in a minute. How it makes its own juice. You don't add no water, just like that. Just put it on, and the sugar, the butter, it's gonna make its own juice, and so that's gonna cook it. You don't need water. Don't add no water to it. Just like that, and cover it up. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Now look at the greens. You're gonna tell in a minute. I'm gonna show you how the seasoned water gonna look in the oxtails. I'm gonna have to start draining the juice, the grease off of it in a minute, because they accumulate grease. So all through the process of cooking them, I'm gonna be draining grease off of it. And you see how on the yams, how we started out with just the sugar, the butter, and the cinnamon. And see how it made its own juice. Now, I'm gonna let that finish, and when they get tender, then I'll cut them off and be ready. But it made its own juice, and all it's gonna cook itself. All right, see my yams? They tender. I'm just gonna cut them off. Done. Didn't add no water, just what I did. That's it. Now I'm gonna add my cabbage to my greens. If you haven't had it like this, try it. It's collard greens and cabbage mixed together. Ooh. Now this is will make you hurt yourself. And if kids don't eat greens, you have a problem with kids eating greens, if you season it like I showed you, and you add this to it, you'll have no problem with the kids eating vegetables.
How long you let your greens cook for?
The greens are cooked about an hour. Right at an hour and something. They tender already.
How you gonna know if it's red?
Because the greens,
You gonna taste it?
I already tasted them.
And what it tastes like?
Oh, delicious. Let me let this wilt up and mix it together. See, after I get in there, then you mix it all together. Mix your cabbage. It ain't gonna take cabbage long, about 30 more minutes, then I'll be done. So you got your ham hocks. The vegetables.
And you let this cook for 30 minutes. But you want to mix all your greens and everything. Mix it all up. Look at that. Wait till I finish, boy. It's gonna be. Let me show you. And my sister's my taster today. She don't cook her food like mine. I'm the best cook in the family. Man, the best cook and cook every Sunday now. See how that look. This water's all seasoned. All this is seasoned food. This is not no plain Jane greens or nothing like that. Look how that look. Ooh. Look at them yams. Boy, that's they. Ooh, man. Oxtails coming along good. Yeah. Now I'm through with my greens. Look at that. Water seasoned. Look how that look. Water seasoned. Look at them greens. Everything. Only thing we're waiting on is oxtails. But everything is ready. Let me get a bowl for my sister where she can sample that.
Okay, I'm getting ready to try this here. And don't forget that greens and cabbage makes their own water. Okay, they make their own water. Hot. But it's good. Got good flavor to it too. Okay, I ain't mad at you. This good. I'm telling everybody, it's good. It's good. Really good.
Now I showed Mama how to do this. Is it good?
It's good. Try
If you wasn't my sister, I wouldn't eat out the same spoon, but since you're my sister.
Ain't it good?
I always pat my own self on the back.
Patch.
Now, I've been doing this all through the process of these oxtails cooking. Draining the grease off of it. You know, I don't want to empty the water out and start it all over because the season's in the water. Well, I already got the season, so I just been going in with a big spoon, draining the grease off to the oxtails. I've been doing this all the time through this whole cooking process. I got about another hour and a half to go on these oxtails, so but through the whole thing I'll be doing it. Now this is fully cooked meal here. I'm already done. My greens. Look how good they look. That's perfect. Oxtails. Yams. That's Woodards Sunday dinner.
And believe me, we're gonna eat good and thing. And Leo, anything positive you want to leave them with?
Believe in God, you know, because like I say, I've been through some things this last few years, and I can tell you God's hand, it was on me, and today I'm 0.1 cancer free. That's a blessing. So, you know, I tell you, I always did. Just stay faithful. Y'all have a nice Sunday now.
Have a good Sunday.